Hello, Robert Melio, Keller Williams, serving most of Tampa Bay. What I want to talk to you about is when you're looking to buy a home, and as a buyer, what is going to be of value to you? Number one, the realtor. A lot of realtors I talk to, I teach classes. A lot of times they say, "These darn customers, they just think of me as someone to open up the door for them." And I tell them, well, if that's all you're doing is opening up the door, well, then you deserve to be looked at as someone that is just there to open the door. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of advice of why particularly to use me as your realtor, but I'm also going to give you some advice of what to look for when you're buying a home, even if you're using another realtor. Hopefully that will never happen, but just give you some advice, because when you're looking for a house, there's things you want to do to try to find the I call them red flags, problems that come up with the house. And a lot of times I've talked to people, of course, not my customers, but people that have looked at homes that paid for 2 and 3 inspections, because they'll find a home, put an offer, have a home inspection, only to find that there are problems that they pretty much could have found themselves. And there's a lot of problems that they say, you know what, I don't think this house is for me. I don't want to deal with those problems. I always recommend the home inspection. And I have to give a disclaimer, I am not a home inspector. I'm not trying to pass myself off as a home inspector. I do not do home inspections. But there's a lot of things that I'm going to teach you to do. I can't do these because then I'm crossing the line of representing myself as a home inspector. Check, of course, your refrigerator. Make sure it's cold. Make sure the freezer is colder. You can buy a infrared thermometer. You can get them for less than $20. They're nice to have. Even if you own a home, you can use them to check the refrigerator, the freezer, the air conditioner. It's good to just have in the home as a tool. Make sure the ice maker works. That's a big problem often. You run I've had people, I've shown houses and they don't do any of this. And I say, you'd be surprised how many people buy a house without doing that. Of course, the home inspector will do that, but you have to pay that home inspector. And if you find these problems, now you're back to the drawing board with another house and paying another home inspection. So, run your oven, your stove. Just check all that stuff. Run the water. Make sure that there's no clogs in the drain. Run the bathtubs. See if there's any clogs that you can identify now, so you don't buy the house and the first Saturday morning you're in there, everyone's taking showers, you're running laundry, dishwasher, and you find out there's a blockage from the house to the road, and now you have to pay for it because you own that house. That problem belongs to you. So another disclaimer, I'm not saying that running the water in every faucet and every bathtub will tell you if there is or not a leak, but it could discover a problem. You can find that out. So then, something like you look under I recommend look under all the sinks. You can see here there's considerable water damage under there. I would look under there to see if that's something that you have as a concern. So that's just things around the kitchen that I recommend you look for this video. I'm trying to keep it shorter, so check all the appliances and so forth. The things that I do that as a realtor is I check the public record. Another disclaimer, it's so sad there's so many lawsuits today. Everybody wants to sue realtors and everybody in general. But I am very good at scrubbing the public record. There's a lot of realtors that either they don't know how to do this or they're too lazy to do it. And I ask all the time in my classes, and very few people know how to do this. But I do. I check the public record. I check the county code for code violations. There's a house here that had complaints from neighbors that there's a lot of overgrowth and accumulation. The house was abandoned. So now someone's going to buy that home knowing or not knowing, if their realtor didn't do their due diligence and tell them this, buy a home that was abandoned. They had a lot of overgrowth. Sometimes you'll see in the notes that there were rats in and out of the property. So that's things that I check for. Now, another disclaimer, I cannot find every problem. I can only rely on the public record. The public record isn't always 100% accurate, but I do my best to check it, to check for any problems. Here's another home that was sold, that the home was for sale. It looked nice. The property disclosure was checked no for sinkhole, okay? After doing a little search, I found out that there absolutely was a sinkhole. May of 2014, there was a permit with the county, and Superior Foundation Solutions, that is a sinkhole company, they repaired a sinkhole in that home. It was recently sold without mention of a sinkhole. that's not good. So that's one of the things that I do as a realtor. I check those things. And then I think finally, well, back to checking the house. Again, I'm not a home inspector. I do not do home inspections, but I do have a list of close to 100 things that I check a house for, or I recommend my customers to check a house for. And what it is to find any red flags or any problems with the house before you have a home inspection, to decide if you even want to move forward before spending the money. And then I think if you go through the house and you check things and everything looks decent, then pay for a home inspection from a certified home inspector, to get their confirmation that everything looks good. So back to the things that I do is one of the last things I'm going to mention is I do take the extra time to search the sales in particular neighborhoods. And in this particular neighborhood, the average sales price is about $103 to $113 per square foot. If there's a house like this one that's $133 per square foot, that's a little crazy of a price. I wouldn't recommend my customer put an offer on it. If they like it and they want that home, they certainly could. That's priced pretty high. The average is 103 to 113. The problem is, if you like it, you want to put an offer, there's a very good chance it will not appraise because there's not sales to justify that price. So that's just another thing I do. I take my time, do the spreadsheet, check the average sales price, because you can be in a neighborhood and you can have a house, similar home, selling for, say, 104 per square foot, and then another home that's selling for 118 per square foot, and they're pretty much the same house. They're both 3-bedroom, 2-bath. They're both updated, very similar design, but one is priced higher than the other. Which one would you want to buy? Okay, so a little bit about me, about some recommendations, what to do when you're looking for a home. I hope this has helped you, and my advice, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, or call me at 813-404-0006. Beware of lazy realtors and beware of incompetent realtors. Robert Melio, Keller Williams. Thank you for watching.